It's Joe, and this is my next project.
Have you ever wanted to build or thought about building a kind of a unique house that's a little bit different than everybody else? Just something you come up with on your own? Well, I've always had that on my bucket list, and the time has come. The time's come to build a house, and this didn't just start lately. This really started 30 years ago when I came down this very road here, and I found this piece of property, and it was old abandoned school, and you could go in the school. It was grown up with weeds, it was graffitied, had a roof on it, had nice maple floors, but the center had fallen out of it, fallen down, and it looked like it had an atrium in the middle of it. And it was just cool, and kids came out and graffitied it, and I came out there. I didn't graffiti it, but I just enjoyed looking at it, and nothing happened. That was 30 years ago. Well, 20 years ago, I was coming down this road, and I went by this place, and it was smoking. It was just smoldering. They had just put the fire out. It had burned, and it burned every single piece of wood in it. And all that was left was bricks. There was not a little piece of wood big enough to pick up in your hand. It was so dry, it just burned completely up. And I was doing some title work on another piece of property at the time, and I told the people, I said, do a title search on this. See, this is a little African-American community church that's been here over 100 years, I think. Here's where this property starts. And there's a little three-grave cemetery. And you can see I just had it surveyed because I'm going to build this house. And that's where the little cemetery starts and ends, and here's where my property starts. Anyway, the people at the title, they gave me some information on the title. I went to the county. There were all kind of taxes owed against it, and I went to the county, and they said, you know, that piece of property comes up for sale on the courthouse steps next month, and if you want, she said, if you want, I'll have everybody served in person instead of just through letters. And so she did that, and it put it off a month. And I bought this place on the courthouse steps in about the year 2000. And I immediately moved in. It didn't look like this. I'll show you some pictures another time how it looked. And that is a gymnasium. That's actually my shop. That's the first bug that I bought. I was going to build the little Zen coupe out of it, but it needed a door. It was cheaper to buy another bug than it was to buy a door. Anyway, I chopped and cleaned a little bit, and I lived here. I've lived here 20 years. Thinking about building a house here, and now's the time. And it's not going to be a giant house. It's going to be a little bit unique. The plan is I'm going to knock the windows out of this, and I'll take the little door I made off of it, and you'll walk through this little garden area, this little garden courtyard, and then get to the house, and you'll be able to see the house and everything through the windows. And I'm just getting started, and I'll drive you around and look. Let me turn around here. And I'll pull down there by my shop. pull in right here. I think that'll be better. This brick structure, I'll get out. Get out and go from here. This brick structure is 110 feet long, about 16 feet tall. And you can see I'm already knocking the window out a little bit. I want to know what you can see from the road. I want to see how tall on the structure I built in there that you can see. And people were still coming in when I moved here. So I built this little wall, little door, just to keep people out. And these mimosa trees are wild. I did not plant them. And this one died, but they just keep living. I'll saw it down. I've had some rocks brought in, and we had no place to put them. I just dumped them there. And this thing was just built out of rotten 2x6s that I had, and bought these bolts and galvanized. They were galvanized, and I dipped them in muriatic acid, took them off. Anyway, you can see in there, that's where I live now. And there's the patio, naturally unfinished. A lot of stuff is. I bought a bunch of tiles off of the Ramada Inn in Kilgore, Texas, and I've got all the bricks. We'll walk around there. And I've got all the bricks that I saved from here. I don't know whether this is the first video or where we are in this process. I'm just making videos, and we'll let them out. I don't know what order we're gonna let them out. I'm saving up some stuff, and under the black tarp I'm saving some lumber from some other builds that we do. I build houses for a living, and we've got a lot going, and there's some lumber that doesn't get sent back. Got a little trash pile that seems to never get burned. I don't want to set anything on fire. I only like to burn when it's just mist and rain, and I never get around to it. These are little walkway that I've made. And I took these windows out here and grew this jasmine up in there, but I don't know if I'm liking the jasmine or not. It's dropping seeds into this and growing here, and I don't know how to get rid of it. And when I built this little house, it's about 1,000 square feet. It's got a 20-foot tower and 1,000 square foot. It's kind of like a loft apartment. There's really only one big room and a bathroom in there. Well, might as well give you the whole tour. I got to clean up all the junk cars and stuff over there. I told you we build houses, and I had a driveway that cracked, and we had to pull the driveway up. And we pulled it up, and I had dump trucks come dump it in. And my wife says she just saw these dump trucks dumping all this stuff in the yard, and she didn't stop them. Anyway, that's a driveway off Bernie's, friend of mine, Bernie's driveway. We made the wall out of it. Just jackhammered them into squares. And the big freeze that we had kind of killed a lot of this stuff. And one of my big tall plants made it, and one of them did not make it. Anyway, the patio, again, like I said, not finished. I got the idea for the patio. I was filling up my car at the gas station one time, and I said, man, that's the patio I want, where these gas pumps are. And the plan is, I've got 8,000 bricks that were part of this school that fell. And today's 2-year plan is, when I get the house built, the house will be built right in there. And I'm going to brick out into here some, and then I'm gonna brick floor through here. I planted these crepe myrtles just for that several years ago. There's that front door from the back. And like I said, take the windows out. And here's all these clay tiles. I had this slab here, so I've had them stacked up on there, and now I have to move them. Actually, when I cleaned up this place, this tree was, you know, big as your thumb. All these trees, it's just grown so much. And a lot of the broken bricks and concrete and stuff I threw in here, and now I'm gonna have to dig all that back out because I gotta run the plumbing for the house in here. That comes out, slab goes out, and all these tiles. I'll use some of these tiles. I don't think my budget is clay tile roof. I'm not quite there. And then I've got a lot of bricks over here. Anyway, that's what's happening. And then that goes back to my shop, which is the gymnasium. It was the gymnasium of this school. So that's what's happening. And I'll try to keep you updated every week. And you can just kind of tag along with this build. And thanks for tuning in.